If you're watching this video, then you've probably heard of the age-old advice that people will sit through bad visuals, but they won't sit through bad audio when it comes to videos in general. And this is why I spend so much money on nice microphones and DACs and amps and audio treatment and other things, because I know that it's important. Now, recently, when it comes to portable audio, DJI have been smashing it out of the park with their DJI Mic. You know, it is small, it is powerful, it is convenient, and it's aimed at vloggers and interviewers and other scenarios where you require good audio on the go. And I remember when DJI first came out with the first iteration of this mic, you know, all of the competitors around started copying the form factors of the transmitters and the case and everything else because of how convenient it all was. And now it's time for DJI to step it all up once again with the newest version of the Mic 2. Now, for all of you who purchased the Pocket 3 Creator Combo, you would have had a little bit of a head start in using the transmitter as it comes in the Creator Combo. But for the rest of you, this is the new setup with 2 transmitters, 1 receiver in an all new charging case. Now, speaking of new, the new iteration of the Mic 2 comes in this nice little pouch thingy, which is very similar to the Pocket 3 pouch. You get some stickers, the charging case with the transmitters and receiver inside. You get little furry wind muff thingies for each transmitter, a USB-C to USB-A cable, and a 3.5mm jack for plugging straight into your camera. And it's all very well packaged, and the build quality is especially nice on the charging case, which is a kind of metal and plastic combination that feels pretty premium. DJI have also released a new lavalier mic, which goes with the transmitters if you want to hide everything a little bit more. This is the one that I'm using right now, and it's a high quality, nice lavalier with a fairly large capsule that produces fairly good quality audio. Let's talk about transmitters, because it's here where everything starts to change. The transmitter is almost the same size externally, but it sports a brand new translucent front case, as well as a graded top where the microphone sits as well. It's still light as ever as well, weighing at 28.5 grams without the magnet, so it's still a great option to clip onto a shirt and not drag everything down too much. So probably the biggest headline feature, at least that I'm excited about, is the new ability to record in 32-bit float audio. 32-bit float audio, if you don't know already, is where you're able to record a very large dynamic range when you're doing your recordings, which means that any super soft noises or super loud noises are able to be recovered in post-processing. It's very, very cool. The new DJI Mic 2 also has a new fancy AI noise suppression feature, which reduces the amount of ambient noise as well as lowers the noise floor, which is great for super noisy ambient environments like this one, like in the middle of Shibuya Crossing. DJI also says that the new transmitters have up to 250 meters worth of range, which is quite nice, but in most situations, for me, the range is not as useful as the connection strength, which is pretty important in urban areas like this in Shibuya Crossing, where reception drops out all the time because of all the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi that's flying around here. Now, it does all of this with 6 hours of battery life per transmitter and an additional 18 hours worth of total battery life if you use the charging case. It also has 8 gigabytes of internal storage on each transmitter, which DJI says you're able to then record up to 14 hours of 24-bit audio on it. Alrighty, now let's talk about the receiver, because this too is all new for this brand new revision of the DJI Mic. Now, externally, it's smaller in depth than the previous version, and while it still has a touchscreen as well as inserts for the USB-C and Lightning attachments, this new version has a thumb dial for controlling the options, which for me is a huge thing because I have clumsy fat fingers. On the receiver, you can control all the settings for both the receiver and the transmitter, changing things like channels, safety tracks, a new recommended camera settings mode where you can choose your camera setup and it changes the settings specifically for you for your setup, as well as controlling gain plus and minus 12 dB and all the other usual suspects as well. The receiver is also where you control the settings of the transmitter too, most notably things like a low cut filter, 32-bit float audio, gain, and more. Even though it is all new, it's very intuitive, and for me, having things like a thumb dial is very nice because I like having physical dials and buttons and stuff for controlling UI. I don't always like the touchscreen options that we have nowadays for absolutely everything. I think the transmitter is really lovely and really easy to use as well. Personally, I think DJI have done it again with this wireless mic segment, and they're continuing to prove why they're a company that brands like Sony and Canon and others should watch out for, because they're slowly invading all of the spaces that surround the dedicated camera market, and they're doing really well at it. I've personally been on a 32-bit float audio workflow for quite some time. I've used the Zoom F3 since it came out, and I've been looking for a very portable mic solution that is 32-bit float audio, so the DJI Mic 2 suits me and what I'm looking for quite well, and I'm impressed. It's convenient, it's feature-packed, it sounds great. Good job, DJI. All right, I hope you enjoyed this little product overview, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, get out there and make something that matters. Peace.